Move my head a little bit here. All right. So, why you shouldn't do a USDA loan? It's a larger, more extensive list, as you can see. And the reason it's more extensive is because there are several reasons not to consider a USDA loan. So as we go through these, I'm going to expand on a little bit more so you can understand why I made these determinations. But mostly because I don't want you to set your client up for failure, right? So the first one's pretty obvious, right? It's going to be the property doesn't meet requirements, right? That's the address specific. So quick Google search into USDA. Let's look. Oh, doesn't meet the address. Easy, right? I have to go FHA now, right? I don't have another choice. Or at that point, I got to go conventional. Borrower makes too much money. And I say borrowers plural because, again, it's household income. So everybody that's in that household has to produce their income for for USDA, whether they're loaned the loan or not. So that can be a major kicker sometimes. It disqualifies people from doing USDA loan, and they don't consider their children or their aging grandmother or an aunt or an uncle or somebody else living in the property because they just don't think they're not on the application. Why would it matter? It absolutely matters for USDA. Manufactured home, not in a pilot state. We talked about this on the previous slides, but they should have landed this plane by now for these pilot states, but they have not. And so there are very limited states that will do manufactured lending for USDA. So if you find yourself in a state that doesn't allow for it, at that point, you're probably going to need to pivot to FHA or conventional and move on. Income producing property. Now, we're not talking about the land yet. We'll get to that, but we're talking about the property. 2, 3, 4 unit properties, accessory dwelling unit properties. If there's another place for somebody to reside on that property, we're going to be producing income from that to help offset the mortgage payment, right? Well, I'm not making any money. I'm just offsetting the mortgage payment. Anything used to apply to that mortgage payment is income. So we cannot be producing income off of the properties for USDA. That is not what this program is designed to do, nor will they allow it to be done. Okay, so if those ADUs or those second units need to be going to a household member who is not paying rent, if you're going to be doing that, and we cannot qualify with the rent to be able to get the home. Now, income producing land is again separate but equal. Farming, cows, sheep, chickens, ducks, whatever, you cannot be producing income off of the land for USDA. This RD product is not for farming. Now, USDA has a separate entity that does farming, right? That will help with those types of loans. But what we do here is residential mortgages. So these need to be residential homes, not commercial. Okay, so farming income, whether it is produced by our hands or not. Let's say you're renting out the property for some people to house their own cattle, right? And on that cattle, they're giving you rental income for using the land. That's the same thing. Okay, you're getting income off of that property due to the land usage. So you cannot use that income to qualify for the loan. In most scenarios, what you're going to do here is you're going to survey that property, right? The house plus an acre and then everything else. That way your borrower can successfully do a USDA loan, either refinance or purchase, and that income producing land can still benefit them, but it's not encumbered in the loan. Okay, so there are ways to work around it, but just know that if we're producing income off of the property in either the residential mortgage or the land acquisition, then we need to address that and make sure it's not going to kill our deal. Unique homes and uncommon homes. If you're building a log home in the middle of Brentwood, you're going to run into issues. If you're building a tall and skinny in the middle of Hole in Wall, Tennessee, you're going to run into issues, right? You can't do those things which are not already done in the counties. So if I don't have a comparable sale and the county is not going to allow it by their permits, you can't build that home under USDA. It's not going to work. Okay. First off, it's not going to appraise. You're not going to have any value. But secondly, USDA doesn't like unique homes. They have a kind of a pushback on that. It's not every home every time, so let Andrew and myself kind of do our due diligence and kind of look into that for you. But like one of the most recent things that we ran into is barn doors, and we're still getting that kind of interpreted what they mean. But like AFR will not do a barn door under USDA. Their interpretation of the law for USDA is it's not allowed. We're getting that clarified with our other new construction companies, but that's something we're running into. So we just need to address it and make sure we're aware of that moving forward. Pools and tennis courts, okay? So USDA is getting a little bit looser on these types of things, but it's not really for these types of homes, okay? That's an FHA conventional type of deal there. But if you're going to be doing luxury items, I got an infinity pool with a spa and a pool house and an ADU, and I got a nice barn. Like, I built a compound. USDA is probably not the route to go, right? We're going to need to go conventional or FHA. But for the standard stick-built home out there in the country that just needs a good homeowner in it that's going to take care of the property and be there to live out their days, this is good. It's a good program. Again, if you're going to rent it out in one day and USDA finds out, they can call the loan due. Okay, this is for primary residence only. So if you're going to be renting the property out before you move, let's refinance that borrower into a traditional FHA or conventional loan. Because if USDA finds out you turn it into a rental property, it's a bad news bears. And let's say you have a large down payment, but you're tight on ratios, right? You got a good score, but you can put at least 20% down. If USDA sees that you have the ability to do a 20% down conventional loan, they may stop you from doing this loan at USDA. They have been known to do that. If you can afford to put at least 20% down and not go poor from doing it, they may ask you to go do a conventional loan. This loan program is designed for low to medium income households. So if you have the ability to save $100,000, it may not work. There are lots of reasons to do something, and there's a lot of reasons not to do anything. Don't make this determination on your own. But if you run into these and you think it may be an issue, ask more questions. That's what this is all about. See you on the next Monday Mortgage. Bye.